President Donald Trump is going to impose 100% tariffs on BRIC nations unless they commit to not developing a new currency like this. Trump made the declaration on Saturday saying, quote, "There is no chance the BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade, and that any country who tries should wave goodbye to America." This is huge, people. And at the early start of the BRICS nations' unity of purpose, I posted a video on this, which is pinned on our homepage. Now, why is President Trump, who will be inaugurated later today, be so interested as to make a statement discouraging countries in the BRICS bloc to say goodbye to the United States friendship? Just think about this for a second. Why is this so important? It's important because this is now a conference of the most important economic bloc in the world that is no longer the United States and its major allies, usually called the G7. By the way, the 7 stands for the United States, Canada, Japan, Germany, France, Italy, and Britain. Those used to be the dominant players in the world economy. And above all, of course, the United States, which has been dominant amongst them all since the Second World War. It destroyed pretty much all of the others. Now, the reality check is that since the year 2020, the BRICS are a larger player in the world economy. For the BRICS nations, only just the first 5, just 5 of them, yeah, when you add up their GDPs, that's the totals of goods and services that they achieve in 2020, is much more than when you add up that of the United States plus the other 6. That is significant transformation. It means the center driving the dynamics, driving the parts of the world's economy is no longer the G7 in Europe and North America. That has now moved on with the advent of BRICS. The dynamics of capitalism, which started in England and then moved on to other parts of the West. There is now a shift of powers to Asia, spread into Latin America and indeed Africa. If President Donald Trump decides to not acknowledge this dynamic change, he and all Americans, all of them, and the G7 will be living in denial because of BRICS, this currency here. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, a creation of the West and the US and the G7, which shapes monetary policies across the world, isn't as strong as you think. At least, not anymore. The International Monetary Fund keeps track of how GDPs is growing each year. Let's make it clear in figures. Now, the United States, according to IMF, grew at 2.8% in 2004. It's not very likely to change in the first quarter of 2025. Now, the other G7 members, Japan, Germany, are expected to also grow, but by 0%. They are in recession. Japan just edging out of recession marginally above 0%. The other members are small. Then now the BRICS. South Africa slowly of course, getting out. Brazil has the same growth as the United States at 2.8% for 2024. Now, Russia, 3.9%, China, 4.8%, India, 7%, almost doubling that of the US, according to the IMF. At this point, there is no contest anymore. It's over. There is new major player in the world economy, and they are having a conference right now. Now is important. Nigeria, the latest country to join the bloc, is a leading producer of oil with vast amounts of resources. The BRICS nations welcome Nigeria and can start trading in commodities including excluding the United States and the G7. This changes everything because the dollar backed by debt and the policies of the IMF and World Bank will be dwarfed and relegated to being totally insignificant. That, people, is the new world order. Let's meet at the comments section for more on this.